The Star Wars Battlefront Rogue One Scarif DLC has been released for Season Pass holders. There are 5 modes available in the DLC: Blast, Walker Assault, Fighter Squadron, Turning Point, and the new mode, which is called Infiltration. Infiltration is a multiple stage mode, 3 phases. In the first phase, if you're a rebel, you have to escort a U-Wing to the shield gate. And obviously, if you're on the other team, the Imperial team, you have to stop the U-Wings from entering the shield gate. You guys all know this about me. I have never enjoyed flying in Battlefront. I have always avoided Fighter Squadron, I avoid every flying vehicle pickup, and I avoid the battle station mode in the Death Star DLC. But Infiltration is different for me. Yes, the first phase is super flight heavy, which, it doesn't do a goddamn thing for me. But the following 2 phases are fun, fast-paced, and exciting. When the rebels successfully get the U-Wing through the shield gate in the first phase, we find ourselves on the surface. The goal, in the second phase, is for the rebels to plant an explosive device on an Imperial cargo ship, blowing it up and creating a diversion. And then the third phase, the phase that takes the cake. The phase that, if I don't get to it due to events in the previous 2 phases, I'm pretty bummed out. And in this phase, the rebels have to steal Imperial data tapes and successfully bring them to a U-Wing that's ready to evac. If someone carrying the data tape is killed, they drop the tape, which organically creates a new fighting position for both sides. This phase is where the real fun of the DLC can be found. There are some fantastic moments of tension in this phase, if you can get to this phase, as you see the rebels getting closer and closer to their objective and you're trying to hold them back. I mean, it is pretty similar to Cargo. As much as I love this phase in the Infiltration mode, it makes me really wish that there was a singular mode based off this phase, basically Cargo. I'm basically saying that Cargo would be a super fun mode to have in this DLC. Yeah, I know I'm biased because Cargo is like my favorite mode, but the setup is perfect for it. The maze of the tropics, the lush environment where every corner is a potential death trap. I can do without the first phase of Infiltration. Again, that's just because I don't like flying. If you like flying, you'll probably enjoy it. The second phase is fun, but it doesn't have the same thrill that the final phase has. For the most part, overall in this DLC, I've been playing Walker Assault. There are just 2 opportunities for the rebels to take the walkers down, and things move fast. Walker Assault is a lot of fun in the DLC. I still enjoy that mode despite having frustrations with it that I've voiced in the past. The maps are very well laid out. Unlike other maps from the main game and previous DLC, there's really no natural high ground, no elevation, no opportunity for snipers to pick you off from vast distances, which I like. The environments are thick. That's really why I think this particular DLC is worth it. The environment. It's worth picking up for the curiosity alone. It's like you're playing Battlefield Vietnam with modern graphics and Star Wars stuff, minus CCR blasting out of a Bell Huey. My real only issue with the environment is that sometimes you see an enemy behind some foliage. You fire, and your lasers impact the brush like it's hitting a metal wall. The hitbox, or whatever you would call it, seems a little goofy for all the greenery. I feel like I should be able to slightly shoot through them? Not fully shoot through them, I guess, because that would make the gameplay absolute chaos, but maybe be able to shoot through the brush with less effective damage coming out on the other side? Or make the impact box around the bushes a little less. Does any of that make sense? I can visualize it in my head, but I have a hard time putting it down into words. There are 2 new heroes, Jyn Erso and Director Krennic. Krennic was a lot of fun to play. Possibly my favorite hero in the entire game. His abilities are pretty great. You can deploy an astromech droid that throws up a shield and scans the area. You can use an ability that buffs health and armor for your teammates. And you can switch your firing mode to basically an armor-piercing, high-damage round. And all of that is just basically great, well-rounded features for a hero character. I was able to play as Jyn Erso for about 8 seconds, and then the round ended. And after hours and hours of playing, I wasn't able to get another Rebel hero power-up. So I can't say anything about her abilities or what I think of her gameplay. I didn't feel like fishing around for hours and hours hoping to find another hero thingy. Shoot me. In addition to all of that, there are some new star cards and weapon loadouts. Do I care about that stuff? Not really. I'm pretty old-fashioned. I'd rather just have new maps. I really don't give a damn about unlockables. Honestly, I'd rather all of the development effort go into map making. To me, that's really where the bang for the buck is. I don't care about battle packs or Counter-Strike dragon skins for my Deagle. I don't care about hut contracts or new star cards that aren't any better tactically than previous star cards. Just give me new maps. With all of that being said, the big question is it worth it? I'd say yes, for no other reason than that it's something new that we've never seen in a Star Wars game. A new environment, new fun, well laid out maps. As of right now, the Season Pass is $30 on Origin. That includes all of the DLC. But if you don't own the game at all, you can get the Ultimate Edition, which includes the main game, the DLC, some special doodads, and everything that the game has to offer for $40, which I think is totally worth it. That's the PC price, of course. I have no idea what the console versions are going for. As far as I know, once the DLC becomes available for people who don't have the Season Pass, the individual Rogue One DLC will be $15, and that's definitely worth it in my opinion. So yeah, I think this DLC is better than the Death Star DLC, and better than the Outer Rim DLC. I still like Bespin the best. The Rogue One Scarif DLC could have topped that list if it would have had cargo or even droid run. The environment and maps seem to be tailored for those small game modes. It is a pretty big bummer and a missed opportunity. I see that they added cargo and droid run into the Death Star DLC, which is cool, but goddamn, why weren't those available at the time of the DLC's release? It feels too late. My enthusiasm for the Death Star DLC was squashed pretty fast, and adding cargo and droid run months later won't fix that. I have a feeling that they'll do the same thing with this DLC, add cargo and droid run. But at that point, I'm sure I'll be over it. Let me know what all of you guys think about the Rogue One Scarif DLC in the comment section below. HelloGreedo, out.